Hey y'all, and welcome to Mic Drop Monday with Dr. Alisa Lachelle Harney, the Empowerment Specialist. Y'all, we have a treat for you guys tonight. See, y'all gonna hear some real conversation from some real people who have some real experience with working with me and actually being in the process of evolving and elevating. And I thought it would be a treat. I thought it would be amazing if I brought on some people that I have personally worked with, some amazing women that I have coached and mentored as they've been in this shift of evolution. So I want you guys, if you have not already, y'all know I love to share my people, right? I want you guys, if you have not already, to hit that share button, get your folks on because this is going to be an amazing conversation that I believe is going to give us some clarity. I believe it's going to give us some wisdom. I believe it's going to give us some insight. I really think it's going to really ignite a conversation, help us to do some internal inventory. Y'all know I always say that. Help us to do this environmental evaluation about what's in our environment, and then of course to do atmosphere assessment and find out what are we really carrying, what's on the inside of us that's manifesting, what's keeping us, what do we have any burdens, barriers, or buildups that's keeping us from believing in ourselves. What is it? Do we have complacency that's keeping us from having clarity, confidence, and comprehension about our next? And so we're going to deal with that. We're going to really have this conversation that I think it's going to really open our eyes and help us to see. So welcome to Mic Drop Monday. I see y'all in this comment section, and I need y'all to be off the chain tonight. I want you guys to really join into this conversation. I am too excited. I need y'all to come on. Listen, y'all being a little slow tonight. Get your folks on. Let's get in this house. Let's share. Let's tag our people. Let's start our watch parties because this is going to be an amazing conversation. So last night, well, let me say this. So you guys know that I started this Evolution of Elevation series last Monday. I kicked it off, and I was a little raw because I wanted to make sure that I was breaking up fallow ground. I wanted to make sure that any type of hindrances that we had emotionally, any type of laws working on the inside of us that would keep us from receiving the process of elevation, I wanted to make sure that I got those things out of the way. And last night, it was kind of late. I had to do a prophetic pop-up, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it. If you did not, the replay is available on I think YouTube and Facebook and maybe Periscope, but you guys will be able to watch it. But I talked about that November is the month of the evolve. Man, can y'all type that in the comments? The month of the evolve. And so as it is the month of the evolve, last night I really dug down and I really dug deep. And I put a post up today that broke down the word evolve and literally gave you all some instruction. I called it prophetic preparation because for some reason I have this overwhelming sense, this foreknowing that before we enter into 2021, it is going to be very, very pertinent. It's going to be very important. It's going to be, thank y'all. My friend Pastor KO was on. It was off the chain. But it's going to be very important that we begin this process of preparation if we are to receive what I believe is for us in 2021, especially, can I let you know a little secret, especially kingdom women? Yeah, I mean, I know the Lord is going to pour out blessings and shower down and open up windows, but listen to me, kingdom women, especially for you. But it's not going to happen if you're not in a place of positioning, if you're not in a place of preparation. And so last night, I literally gave some apostolic instruction and some prophetic positioning and some prophetic preparation. And so if you did not watch last night's Mic Drop Monday, I want you guys to go back. I spelled out evolve and told you and gave you very specific instructions about how to evolve. So make sure you guys catch that. I see y'all coming on and sharing. Thank y'all so much. Y'all so sweet. Keep sharing because again, this thing is going to be off the chain and I don't want y'all to miss anything. So before I'm getting ready to bring everybody in, my mama's on. Listen, my mama's birthday is today. Happy birthday, mama. She turned 61 today. I put a big post. Over 300 of you all wished her happy birthday. So thank y'all for that. But she is on. So feel free to say happy birthday to my mama. She's beautiful and I'm so grateful for her life and for everything about my mama. So let me just stop and give my mama that shout out, right? And so anyway, so here it is. So we're in this evolution of elevation, and I want to say this: there are a lot of people who think they want to work with me. Let me just go ahead and put it out there. I'm probably the only person I know that make it sound like I'm threatening folks not to work with me. That is not the case. But I really just want y'all to. It's a lot of people that's just, Dr. E, I want to be mentored by you. Dr. E, I want to be coached by you. Dr. E, I want a one-on-one with you, and I don't have them available, right? I think I've only opened one-on-one strategy sessions with me one time this entire year. I do have a group coaching program. I don't think it's open now, but a group mentorship program. I think it's closed for right now. But I do have mentees that came on that are at the close of their 1 year mark with me that I have been pouring into individually. And I brought a couple of them up because here's the thing. Some of you may or may not know. I just released a brand new coaching program, and let me just say, it's not a small coaching program. It's a very lucrative coaching program. It's very thick. It's a very premium coaching program, and I'll tell you why it is. It's because I don't work one on one with folks, not because I don't like people. Let me let y'all understand that. Not because I don't like people. It's just because I know the type of pouring that I invest. I know what I put into people. I know the time. I know what kind of accountability it's going to take. I know what kind of positioning it's going to take for that. And so I make sure before I put stuff out like that, I make extra sure that you guys gonna be ready before I do it. And so it's a very there are not a lot of spots that are open for this coaching program. Only, as a matter of fact, I'm only going to open maybe 5. However, one of the other things though, if you are interested in applying for this coaching program, even if you can't get into the coaching program, I have a couple of more things that we're opening up that are very huge that you have the opportunity to jump in on first before anybody else does. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put the link up for this program. We're going to talk a little bit more about it later, but let me go ahead and get this link out of the way because I don't want you guys to miss it. And when you go to this link, it will give you the opportunity to fill out the application and kind of see if it's a good fit for you, and then you'll have an opportunity to set up a one-on-one with me just for a few minutes to just kind of see. Now, it's not for the faint at heart. You guys will learn that very quickly. In a minute, you're gonna learn it's not for the faint at heart when you talk to some of my mentees. But they're pinning it in the comments, and so I want you guys to be able to see it if you have not already. So it's in the comments. Check it out. So without further ado, I am bringing up 3 of my mentees that have worked with me, have worked beside me, that I have had the opportunity to help shift, I think, shape, shave off some stuff. There's a lot of stuff. And they've already told me they're not holding back anything. They're going to tell y'all the truth about this transformation. They're going to tell y'all the truth about I don't fight them, but I think some of them feel confronted sometimes and attack because we go after these issues, but we got to see results. And the great part about it is they're seeing results in their personal life. They're seeing results financially, in their faith, even in their future has begun to shift since they've been working with me. But at the end of the day, even forget working with me for a second. What I'm really excited about you guys seeing is what evolution feels like. I think people have fooled some of us and made us think that when you start climbing up to I talked about this last week. I just want to fly with the eagles. You just want to get to the top of that mountain. And that is a rough side. You start going up that mountain and the air gets thin and you don't have enough room to carry all the baggage you've been carrying for your whole life. Stuff starts shifting, and they're going to tell you their own personal stories, as much of it as they want to share. And we're just going to have a real conversation about what it means to begin shifting this evolution process, what that means. And so I'm excited. The first person that I am going to bring up with me, you listen, Pastor KO knows, she knows I coach her. you gotta have tough skin. And that's not because I'm mean. That's just because I don't play about seeing helping you see results. But the first person that I want to bring up, she is an amazing influencer. She's founded an organization, the Flourish Effect. She has a lot of. She is. I know that she's a strategist. She is a social media strategist, a social media guru. I call her the queen of influence. She don't even know I say it behind her back. But I'm so excited to have. You may have seen her on YouTube. Her videos are watched by millions. She's followed by thousands, but she's one of the most humble, settled women with a heart after God that I have ever met. So if you will please, and y'all better show some love in this comment section, show some love to one of the people that I love so much, Michelle Anna. Welcome,
Hey,
Michelle.
Dr. E,
Hey,
what's up?
sugar. Look at you looking all cute.
Hey,
Hey.
I was gonna be on the show tonight, so I knew who I was with.
Listen, introduce yourself to the people that are on tonight, because I love sharing people with my folk with them. So just give them a little back. I think y'all, yeah, show some love in these comment sections. So tell them who you are and just a little bit about yourself.
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Dr. E, for having us all here tonight. It is an honor. Well, I am Michelle. I'm like Love Michelle Anna on all platforms, but essentially, I am a lifestyle and beauty influencer. I am also a podcaster. And this year, I founded a platform called the Flourish Effect. And basically, that platform has been a shocker for me because it was essentially curated to help creatives to flourish in their soul, in their business, and in their community. So I have been around these social media streets for a while, so I know the influencer game. And honestly, this year has been incredible. Okay, so that's a little bit about me.
So thank you so much, Michelle. Listen, y'all, she's starting off real easy, but she already said she gonna tattle on me. So yeah, Michelle gonna tell all the business.
Oh,
She
it's gonna
she
be a night. It's gonna be a night. We're gonna tell all.
All right, y'all. So this next mentee of mine, I'm so excited to bring her up. A beautiful woman who is a registered nurse. She travels, and especially now, she's one of those people who the world cannot function without. I mean, she literally, even outside of being a mother, she puts herself on the line every day just to make sure that the people we know and love are protected and helped. She is very serious about the kingdom. She is known as the kingdom strategist. She's a published author and a speaker, and she is someone again who probably gonna tattletale on me after a while, but she's someone that I've watched God manifest in different components of her life. So welcome with me, if you will, Jamaica LaShawn. Hey, Jamaica. I think you're. Let's make sure you're unmuted.
Look at me.
There you are. You better come on in.
What's up, everybody on Mic Drop Monday? I'm so glad to be here, Dr. E. Thank you for this invitation. As she mentioned, I travel. I am on location right now, but I showed up for you guys. I showed up for myself first of all, but I also showed up for you. So I'm excited to get this rolling and let y'all know a little bit about Dr. E and this program that all year. Game changer. It's exciting. So
Oh man, thank you, Jamaica. Last but not least, I want to bring up this next young lady is just my heart just beats soft for her. She's so sweet, has such a sweet spirit. Is when I met her, she was just kind of in the middle of, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I got these ideas about stuff, I do this, I'm not sure, and then now I'm looking up. Is an owner of this company that does everything. I mean, Curly Lux, it's just amazing. She has her own line of certain things. We will talk about that when she comes on. She out here winning. And I mean, I'm just excited about her life, how she has been growing spiritually, how she's seeing elevation financially in her relationships, even as she mothers, and just as a wife, she's seen some pretty big pivots. And so welcome me with me, if you will, Cavell. Hey, Cavell.
Hi, good night, everyone.
So introduce yourself to the people.
So, I am Cavell, as Dr. E said. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and an entrepreneur, trying to be the best entrepreneur I can be, and trying to be the best mentee in these streets that I can.
Y'all, listen, everybody, take a moment and hit this share button. I see about 200 of you guys that I can see that are watching now. So I hope all of you guys, my guests, can hit the comment section and see the comments as they're rolling through, because they are definitely on here talking. And I don't want y'all to miss anything that they are talking about. Thank you guys for welcoming them. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys that are sharing. Y'all want to get in because we're about to have this real conversation. So we're talking about the evolution of elevation, and one of the things that I am always very mindful of, I feel like people tease us with these half truths, right? I think a lot of the times we felt like, we already feel like we should be a lot further than we are. There's already the pressure that you're not doing enough, you're not doing it good enough, you're not doing it fast enough, you missed your chance. And so there's always already a lot of weight and pressure. Then, not to mention, the whole world kind of watching. Are you gonna flunk? Are you gonna fall back? Are you gonna? And so I wanted to have this real, raw, relevant conversation so that you guys could hear some real life testimony of people who have been and are in this process of evolution. So I'm going to begin by asking a question. What is something you wish somebody would have told you early on about the process of progression, about they tell you, oh, I can, Michelle, Jamaica, I see you being great. They'll tell me too. I see you. Oh God, I just see God has some great things for you. I just see. But what's one thing they forgot to tell you? Michelle, let's start with you. What's something you feel like, yeah, I hear all that, but y'all forgot to tell me this? What do you think people forget to tell us?
Oh, I feel like people, it's nice to say, like, obey God, obedience is my strategy and all these great things. That's lovely. It sounds amazing. But I feel like a lot of people negate to talk about how difficult that actually is,
Ooh.
right? How difficult and challenging, and how in obeying God, you also have to release and let go of a lot of things that you felt like
Mhm.
tied to, right? And
That is so
stuck
good.
with, right? And so I feel like if somebody would have just told me that obedience is not going to always feel good, that it's
Mhm.
actually going to feel like you're dying to a version of you that cannot move forward in your life.
Oh, that was
Period.
so good. Wait, hold on, because y'all know I'm a mic dropper. Did y'all hear that obedience almost feels like you're dying to another version of you?
Yeah.
Man, that's a mic drop if I ever heard one. I hope y'all are. That's why y'all need to be sharing, because it's going to be off the chain tonight. So nobody tells us, because it's just like, oh, you just got to obey God. But nobody
Right.
says that obedience is dying to a certain part of you that you didn't even, and
Absolutely.
sometimes that you didn't even realize you were holding on to.
You didn't even realize you were holding on to.
Oh, that's so good. Jamaica,
Nope.
what are you thinking about this? So when you think about something that you wish somebody would have told you, as they say, oh, you got some great potential. I can just see you out there. What do you wish they would have told? What did they forget to tell you?
They forgot to tell me that I have to do the work.
That you have to do the work.
You can't just wish for it and just hope for it. You have to put in work
Come on.
and hard work. And so it's not something that in due time it's going to come. No. And just as Michelle was stating with the obedience, that's doing the work. So that's what I wish someone would have told me a long time ago, that you
Listen.
have to be willing to do the work.
To do the work. I think when we hear, oh, God's going to open the windows of heaven and
Mm-hmm.
pour me out a blessing, I think we just think all we do is stand there and wait for the pour. Oh, God, thank you.
Come
And
on.
you
Yeah.
just going to pour the money. You
Yeah.
just going to pour the man. You going to pour the ministry. You just going to pour the mindset on me. And I'm just going to, no, you got to do the work. Man, y'all better drop these
Period.
mics. I wish somebody
Period.
would have told me that I got to do the work, right? We hear the scripture that says faith without work is dead. But I think sometimes we fool ourselves to say, but if I believe though, yeah, I still got to do the work. But if I bless God every day, you still got to do the work. But if I hope it, the work. right? The work. This is so good. Cavell, what about you? What did they forget to tell you?
They did not tell me that it's going to be hard and you have to stay disciplined.
Shh. All right, you talk about one of my buzzwords.
You have to know how to stay on course and not get distracted by the noise and everything else that comes in.
Man, that is so good.
It's good.
So they didn't tell us that number one, we used to sing a song. See, we used to sing a song back then, and that's one of the songs they should have kept. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. Yeah, no, they didn't. They didn't say that. Because I think people just made us feel like, hon, I've been running with the Lord for a long time and I ain't tired
yet.
The devil is a lie. I'm tired. I don't know who's telling this. The
Tired.
in the Bible. No, I get tired. And they don't tell us, they don't talk to us about discipline, about discipline. Y'all know that's one of my, you know why I'm so hard about discipline and distractions? It's because that was my default. Not being disciplined and always being distracted was my default. And nobody says that it is hard to stay disciplined. Now, so we're going to shift. This is so good because I really want you guys to get into a little bit of your own story as I ask this question. And really just kind of take your time to kind of talk through a little part of this. Thank you guys that are on and sharing. This is going to be real good tonight. I promise you, it's going to get real good, real fast. So as we think about, we're coming on to a year of you guys being coached and mentored by me. And one of the things that I talk about all of the time is nature change. When we first started off, I feel like that mentorship looks like this. At first, I stood in front of them. I was like, I got you. I'm gonna lead the way. You get behind me so that you can, undress emotionally. Let me give you a safe place to release, to acknowledge your emotions, to bury. The first part of this journey was that we had to do some internal inventory. Like, I don't just say these phrases on Mic Drop Monday because they sound cute. Like, this is literally a signature. I live this. And we went through a me mapping exercise with everybody, with all three of them. And I want you guys, if you remember back when we put y'all name, y'all remember this, in the middle of the circle. And I asked a very simple question. I said, what roads lead to you? Because whatever road leads to you, here it is. And y'all can type this in the comments. Roads become roles. ROADS become ROLES. Roads become roles. And when they came to me, each one of them overwhelmed. I mean, overwhelmed by some stuff, underwhelmed by their own selves. Like, it was just this, and it was just like everybody want everything, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna show y'all what you look like. I'm gonna literally give you a visual representation of what you look like, because roads become roles. So I want to ask you, what road leads to you? And so let me before you guys answer that, somebody asked the question, what's the difference between a mentor, a coach, and a spiritual mom? When it comes to me, I'm all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
I just happen to be one of those people
Right.
who is kind of, I'm going to, so mentors kind of affirm you as you, we'll talk about it a little later, but let me just say I'm all of them. So the first leg of this journey was me in front of them. The second leg of this journey has been me beside them. The last leg of this journey is me behind them, pushing them to move. I think that is an indication of somebody who is really coaching, mentoring, mothering, pushing you into your next. There has to be an evolution. They have to their role changes because your role changes. They have to lead from the front, right? They have to, I always say, I can't teach what I can't reach. So I had to, they pushed me to reach something so that I could turn around and teach it. But then I got beside them and said, let's walk this thing together. I got you. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm not abandoning you. Then I got behind them and say, no, it's your time to get up front. I'm going to push you, and I got your back. And so, Michelle, let's begin with you again. With this me mapping, what did you discover about yourself when we started your journey of me mapping and we start looking at the roads that you were becoming? Talk about that. Talk about that.
I feel like this was just yesterday. And when was this? January? Oh my gosh. It was very like confronting, because I had never had to sit with myself and actually look at what I was giving off to the people, right? People meaning friendships, community, family, all these things. And what I discovered was that it was so easy for me to put everybody else and give everybody else excellence and leave myself for the end. And it was so natural to me that I didn't even recognize that I was doing that. And I remember that day where I was looking at myself and I was like, what is happening? Like, no wonder I'm so overwhelmed. No wonder I'm exhausted. No wonder I have no clarity. I'm all fogged up. I cannot see, right? And so I'm trying this, I'm trying that. Nothing is working. Or even if it did work, there was no longevity because it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. So I was successful at it, but it wasn't exactly what I was supposed to be doing. And so essentially, I needed someone like Dr. E to be like, all right, let's go ahead and break this all the way up and shine some light to, first of all, why you're doing this. What are the dysfunctions? Because we need to first address why you keep putting everybody else and everything else first and not giving yourself, your brand, your business, the excellence and the attention that it requires. But how can we pivot from here? Right. So we needed to first confront it and then take steps forward. But that was hard.
I remember telling you, and this was, let me tell y'all something. Michelle caught a video freeze of me confronting her. And when I say she gave me the stank face and she screenshot it and posted it.
Because I was tight, Dr. E. I was like, oh, and you know what? Like, this is the thing. Like, only Dr. E could check me the way that she does. She has checked me, and I have it on video. Okay, like I have it on video. She will be like, "Oh, so you cute, but that's not what we're doing." Like, it is so funny, and so and it's exactly what I needed, because what happens is when you see someone successful with the numbers and the following and all that stuff, that's great. But let's talk about what's really going on and why you keep starting and not finishing. Why there's no longevity here. Why don't you have discipline in this area? Why aren't you further along? Because she saw something in me that I couldn't see because I was so blinded by everything else.
I remember I remember one of the confrontations was, I told you, I said, Michelle, it's funny that you do all of this social media production. You're a YouTube influencer, and yet you are playing a support cast in your own life, in this role of your own life. You're not even the star. You're not even the star. You're just playing support role in your own life, and it's yours. Like, how is it that you just the support? Your name don't even get to be on the credits. Like, you just other, and we don't even stay to the end to see that part of the credits. Like, how is it that you are doing that, but it looks packaged well? And I think that's a lot of us. We package ourselves to people because we become what we think they need us to become. But then when we turn around, we find out that all we are is the packaging. Man, all that we have left is just the wrapping. And I'm sorry, but I can't do nothing with the wrap. Man, y'all gonna get me started. I can't do nothing. Thank you. But when I unwrap a present, I throw the wrap away. I have once it's torn, y'all better hear this. Once it's torn, there's no more use for it. And that's what happens with us when folks use us up, when they trying to get to the goods. After they damaged and after they have did what they needed to do, they have no more use. And a lot of us, this is what we're dealing with. We never get to this treasure in earthen vessels because we make the packaging look so good. And that's why for a lot of people, we just arm candy. We proverbial arm candy. We eye candy. We just look good around their neck. We look good on their program. We look good. And I know I'm off the chain tonight. And that's what happens. And then we look and we're thinking, wait, I have more substance than this. I have more. But we're hot. That's right. We hide behind the packaging. And so, Jamaica, we did your me mapping. And there was something very significant, a phrase that you said to me that we talked about this the other day. And I thought it was amazing. Talk to us about when we did your me map and was figuring out the roads that led to you and the role that you were operating in. What did we discover?
Well, when we did the me mapping for myself, it was discovered, as she stated, that I wasn't a part of this life, that I was just the supporting cast, and I never made the decisions for myself. And as we began to uncover the layers even more, we discovered that I was just a tag along.
Shoo, wait a minute. Listen, I need y'all to catch this. You discovered that you were a tag
A
along.
tag along.
Tell me what that means. Let the
So that
people
meant
know
that what everyone else wanted, here I come. What they thought I should be doing, here I come. What they wanted to do, there I am, riding shotgun, but it was involving me. So I was the tag along to my own life. And moved in the directions that others wanted me to move in the direction that all those different roles, and it was looking like a wagon wheel, so many lines drawn, all those different spokes. But none of that was what I wanted. A tag along.
A tag along. Man, look at the people saying, wow, listen, they coming down your road. A tag along. Why you doing that? Well, because they doing, well, why you decided? Well, because they said if I did tagging, and some of us, because nobody helps us give language to how we're living. Man, that's a mic drop. Can you give language to how you're living? For the people in the back, can you give a language to how you're living? And one of the things that I do when I work with people is I force them to give language to how you're living. How are you living? And Jamaica, she just said, discover it. And how long did you feel like, as we looked at that you felt like you had been a tag along?
Oh, all my life.
All your life.
Always second. Always second. Always third. Never first.
Y'all hear that? And I know this is hitting. I see y'all. This is why are we like that? I mean, we tag along. And I remember Jamaica saying to me one day, I am so tired of never being first, of never being chosen, of never. And I said, they can't choose you first because you ain't chose yourself first. You why would I choose you and you haven't? See, that's that. See, y'all don't want this. See, people, if I can, you don't want it because we have to be able. Y'all know I taught. I built my platform off of you can't fix what you won't face. And so tagging on this is so good. So support cast. See, we looking at, like Michelle said, we looking at numbers and we looking at the cute profile pic, but support cast, we got to tag along. Cavell, what about you? When we did your me mapping, what did you discover about yourself?
The same thing, riding in the back seat of my own life. It's like I was pouring life and joy and everything into everyone except myself. So you end up being this empty shell and you're wondering, well, what happened to me? Why don't I have this? Why can't I get that? Because you're taking what you should be putting into yourself and pouring it straight into everybody else.
So that's so powerful. Backseat, man, y'all need to hear this. So backseat. Cavell discovered that she literally would just get in the car emotionally get on other people's bandwagons. And she says it as the back seat, but do you know what that really shows up like? That shows up like when you're being a martyr, when you're being a shero, somebody's hero. You're really just riding. You're in the back seat. Like literally, if they want, I want to go here. Let me jump in the back seat. I'm not even driving the car. Or heck, maybe I'm driving the car, but you telling me where to go. I'm still in the back seat. Man,
giving everybody else control.
Come on. So can we dismantle something? I feel that somebody said I need this tonight. Listen, let's dismantle that. There are some of you that you're thinking that you're in control. You're thinking that you're helping, but you're really held hostage because you're riding in the back seat. Just because you driving the vehicle, if you're not in control of the destination, you're still a backseat driver. You really are you're being manipulated and maneuvered by somebody else's demands, by somebody. And you wonder, man, this is going to be so good. You wonder why you always end up having a front seat at everybody else's evolution. Listen, I know I just dropped the mic. You know why? Because you the one drove them there. Whoo, man, I feel the wind. You drove them there. Why do I have to see everybody else happy? Everybody else doing what they do. I can remember plenty of y'all telling me that, especially Michelle. I just don't understand why, because you drove them there. You literally, they said, Michelle, I want to accomplish this. Jump in. I got it.
Got it.
If I can, I got it. Jump in. And then
Yep.
you look,
Saying yes to everything.
yeah, why is everybody? Because you drove them there. You drove them there. So then you mad because they out here winning and they out here doing what they do. And oh, I see y'all in the comment section, and you looking crazy, like my grandmama say, like who did it and how come? And it's because you drove them there. You literally drove them to the destination, and then get mad because they say, oh, "Okay, I'll let you know when to come pick me up." Wait, that's it? That's the end of my road?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? And I had to make them see now that's the end of the road. And I said the only way you can move forward is that you've got to close the road. So let's go here because I want to talk about the roads that had to be closed. Man, this is so good. So when you get ready, let's think about. I just told the mic up. I'm trying, man. This is what we doing. This is people think evolution is real cute and it sounds real, it sounds real fine, but it's not a joke. When we think about a mountain, we have to understand that the bottom of that mountain is very wide, right? Very wide. A lot of folks can fit in. They know I've talked to them about it. And we so busy wanting to be validated and affirmed and recognized. And so we comfortable staying at the bottom because we get everybody on the same level. And see, if I climb up the mountain, people gonna see me if I climb up the mountain. And then we have the nerve trying to climb up the mountain, and we got Johnny Nim and TT Nim and Boop Boop Nim and everybody we trying to carry. And then I forgot she told me to do this, and then everybody we carrying it, and then we get like 5 steps and want to give up. Yeah. Because as you come up a mountain, a couple of things that happens, there is more stress on your body that's required because you actually it takes more muscle the higher you're climbing. And then guess what? You realize that you got to drop some weight. You realize that there's not enough room. So you might have started out with all of them. Y'all might have started out 4 flats. Then you start coming up, and then now you got to, So I want to talk about, as you begin closing roads, the first roads that we had to start deciding. I remember I did an exercise with you all. I don't know if you guys remember, but we did story time. And I said, I want you to tell me who has roles in your life, who's taking up these roles. And let's look at the level of significance because I think some of these roles have closed, have passed, or some of the roles that you've been playing for other people. You out here directing everybody else's movie, and yours out here flunking. You just got an F rating, but you helping everybody else look A+. Let's talk about what roles do you feel like you had to close, or what were some of the hardest roles that you had to close? Like, I gotta stop being this to somebody, or I've got to stop allowing other people to make me become this person. Michelle, what was that for you?
I think for me, I struggled with familiarity, and it was hard for me to be okay with closing those roles. I think that was the hardest part for me, because I thought that meant that, oh yeah, we this is going to be a forever thing. Everybody gets to go with me. I want everybody to come with me. Like, I am the community person. I love community. I love engagement. I love I love it all. But I had to realize that I couldn't bring everybody along with me. And that was really, really hard. And I think for me, I had to recognize, what were those places of familiarity, right? What was I doing, and what was my place in all of that? And so I think on a business side, it was just me recognizing that it was time to fully jump into full-time entrepreneurship, because I could do it. I was doing it successfully, but I was overwhelmed because I also was taking on this and taking on that and trying to supplement, right? When I knew what I had to do. I knew what I had to do, and I had to trust and lean into what God was already showing me. But once again, when you're overwhelmed, when you cannot see, right? It's like I started praying, like, God, enlighten the eyes of my understanding, because I'm not understanding, I'm not seeing. And then Dr. E came into my life, and that was history. And so we just started to really take away the layers. And I was actually surprised at how deep this mentorship went, because I'm over here thinking, oh, I need help with business and all these different things, but this went all the way left in a deeper way that I was not expecting. I didn't realize that some of the reasons that I was not executing at the level that I knew I could, because of some heart issues and heart dysfunctions that I had within myself. I did not make that correlation at first. And then we started really saying, okay, what's here? Let's pause here real quick, because the reason why you are not disciplining your time is because you're all over the place. You're thinking that you're one of the things I struggled with was I felt like if I disciplined my time, I wasn't able to be a creative, right? When in fact, if you actually take the time to discipline your time, you're able to create even better, and with a precision that all this gallivanting, as Dr. E used to tell me.
All this showboating and carrying on this fluff and all the foolishness, it's too much.
Too much. Like, stop it, pause, get like let's take it all out. So yeah, like it, oh my gosh, it was hard, but it was so worth it.
That's so good. That's so good. Jamaica, what door do you feel like was the hardest door for you to close?
The hardest one is similar to Michelle, but it was family. Family to me is big, and it meant that I had to continue to show up for them. Being the oldest, just always just having a heart wanting to be that for everyone else, but not understanding what that was doing for me. So just like God told Abraham, go away from your kin and I will show you.
What do you think
the fear show me, because I wouldn't go away. I wouldn't stop. So I could never get any further because I was still wanting to stay connected in that way, that where their opinions matter more than mine.
That's what I was going to ask you. What was the fear? What do you think the fear of shutting that door was?
Right.
And that's what it is. And I know a lot of you all, somebody said they were about to type it in, family. Yeah. And I'm the oldest too. And feeling like I have to, if I don't, who else? And I remember I told Jamaica, I said, oh, you conceded. And she was like, what? No, I'm very humble. And I was like, yeah, really? So you so great that the lives of your family, their livelihood is going to fall apart because you don't make a decision. And she was like, wait, what? No, that's not what but that's what it is. And we don't even recognize that. That's so arrogant of us to feel, well, who gonna do it for them if I don't? You're not the only option. You do know that the only reason they got a plan B. You just keep saying yes, right? Y'all know I teach this. They can learn the lesson if you're always the solution. And I said, you've got to retrain. You've got to start maneuvering. You've got to. And I can remember saying to Jamaica, stop answering the phone every time it rings. And she would be in session like, my phone ringing right now. And I was like, I wish you would waste my time. And I remember one time she went, and then she would say, I already know what they want. Do you see how we recognize these? We recognize, but until somebody and I was like, so if you already know, or I'm afraid to have this conversation, you tune in right on time. Yeah, this is good. Or you're afraid to have these conversations. And I had to tell her, my daughter used to say, well, what they gonna do? Whoop you? Like, wait, what is I'm afraid to have these conversations because I'm gonna let somebody down.
Yes.
Or are you letting them down? Or are you letting them live? Ooh, am I letting you down? Or because I feel like you're living when I can say, hey, I can't do it for you. But you know what? I bet you if you ask or I bet you if you look up some stuff and see, you know what, they're going to come back and be like, I figured it out. I just let you live. I didn't let you down. Man, you see how I'm helping you guys change the narrative?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
This is good. So that's a good one. Family. We got to tell the truth. Cavell, what about you? Was the hardest door to close?
Same thing. Family, friends and family. Also the oldest. So it's along the same exact lines. But for me, it had to come to a point where all I had to do was say no. And it's not just, okay, I'm going to say no and I'm being rude and that's it. Just drop you and I'm gone. One specific person, I had to say no, but let me help you, do such and such. So let me try to help you say yes for yourself instead of you looking for yes from someone else. So, Dr. E, I haven't even had a chance to tell you this. That specific person called me the other day and she goes, I did this by myself. I feel so empowered. And I was like,
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
So did y'all just catch that mic drop? Saying no helps them say yes. We miss it, y'all. This is thank you. This good. Saying no helps them say yes. And again, we don't realize it because in our head, our no is the worst thing that could ever happen to them in their whole life. But I remember my grandma, she's usually on. She would call me about everything. And of course, I love my granny. You know, I love my granny 80 and I love my granny. But one day I remember when my time, I didn't have the capacity anymore. And so instead of doing it for her, I would go through and help teach her how to do it herself. And it was I had to be patient. It was long. It wasn't something I had to say it over and over. But when I remember one day we were like on a family call or something, and she was like, "Oh, I can do it." She taught me, "Honey, you raised me just like that. Now I know how to do it. I can flip this." And my grandma be on social media. She have her own live she do on Thursdays. She be posting and carrying on like, and that is empowering. And so sometimes we've got to change that mindset because it's a trap and it's a trick to keep us in this place of stagnation. A lot of the times the enemy is after our mobility. He's after us moving forward. He's after us being able to keep going. So he ties us down with obligation. He ties us down with feeling bad, like we got to do, like we got to carry. But the Bible says you lay aside the weight. God, if you can just you can just stop them from, let us lay aside the weight, which leads me to a very important question. And this is a big one now. This is more internal. They know I did this whole thing about discipline. That was probably one of the longest months we had dealing with discipline because I don't think we realize how undisciplined we all are. Literally, we don't think about how undisciplined we are in our time, in our money, in the way we manage conversations. Like, we don't realize it. And I remember I made them do an assessment. I said, I need you guys to do a time assessment. I was like, y'all track everything else, your exes, y'all be tracking your family, what they doing. Y'all be tracking the folks that didn't like your post. Now you got to go see why they didn't and what they doing. Next thing you know, you all 3 generations back. Just track everything with your time. Why you can't tell me what's happening with your time? And so I remember asking them, talking to them about the areas where their nature had to change. And this is a very hard one because our nature, sometimes we excuse it because we've always been like this. I've always been, I tell this story all the time, and my mom's on, and so she knows this to be true. I never thought being late was offensive. Being late never offended me because my mom used to be late all the time to everything. And she had this little joke, honey, late is my middle name. Like, it was real cute. So it didn't bother me to be late. So I would just be late because people let my mama be late. And then nobody, if they fussed at her about it, they didn't say it to her face or she didn't care. Either way, I never had. Now, my dad was very punctual, but he was always at work and my mom was in front of me. So I took that very laid back attitude with time. And I lived my life like that. I remember when I first met my husband in 2009, he was so aggravated, by the way. Yeah, let me tell you something. My husband was so aggravated. I mean, he's by the way, he's ex-military. So it aggravated him so much. And I would just be like, why you so, chill. I like to kind of wing it. Like, you so upset. I remember, and I never forget, I started working for Habitat International, and my boss, who was the director of strategic development, was teaching. And I wasn't late at this time, but he was talking about how he views people who are late, how they are, that's so arrogant, and it's so this, and it's, and I was like, what? That's not the message I want to send. Like that. Oh my God, is that what I look like? And of course, my mom has completely shifted, and so have I. And it's so funny that my nature changed. That literally now, when I allowed God to do the inside work, and when I started doing the outside work, y'all better hear it. He did the inside work by helping me show me. I did the outside work because I had to start going to bed at a certain time. I had to start waking up at a certain time. That's right. My mom said I improved over time. That's what happened to me. But it took deliberate discipline. I start having to be intentional. I had to set my alarm early. I had to fool myself and set my clock 5 minutes late so that I would be on time instead of, I literally had to work. It was a nature shift that changed everything. I say this all the time. My numbers didn't change until my nature changed. I didn't start having more impact, income, or influence until my nature. I had to break that nature off of me and start. And so now my family know I leave everybody. No, y'all not gonna have me late to nothing. I mean, when I get ready for a Zoom meeting, they'll tell you 2 minutes go by, and I'll be calling my admin like, did they call in about such? She was like, Dr. E, give me time to get on the line, just because I'm aggravated now because my nature shifted. So Michelle, let's start with you because I know we dealt with this. What was the biggest nature shift that you had to make?
Oh my gosh, Dr. E, you already know. So I think for me, because naturally I'm a very spontaneous person. Like I just love to be spontaneous. And when Dr. E challenged me with this, I was like, but like I feel like you're saying that I can't be spontaneous. You're saying that I can't be creative. And in fact, what ended up happening was I started taking her advice, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'll start with. I'm going to go ahead and start with my Google Calendar, right? I'm going to start putting in exactly what I do, the time frames that I should be doing those things at, and we'll just give this a try. Well, long and behold, I started doing that, and I really became more just disciplined and persistent and consistent with delivering the things that I needed to do. So I started recognizing, I'm like, okay, this is working. So my nature shifted because I still was able to be spontaneous in certain pockets. So for me, I saw it as a reward. Like Saturdays were like a reward. If I could be disciplined during the week, I knew Saturday was like okay, where are we going? Where's the picnic? Where's the brunch? Where's this? Where's that? And I knew that the weekend was reserved for that. It wasn't that I was taking away from who I was, but I was actually making myself better. But although it was uncomfortable, I knew that at the end of the day, at the weekend, I was going to have a good old time.
That's so good. That's so good. She said something. Yeah, that's time management. And it's time. It's not just time management. You manage your time because we can know. And I remember Michelle used to say, "Well, the first time," and they know I teach them this. Put yourself on your calendar first. And I would say, because that's what I thought. Y'all want me to keep a calendar? I'm not going to be able to do. No, I had to start putting. So I would actually put time to rest, put time to take a day out. Like I put it on my calendar. My admin's on. She know I play no games about my calendar. She know if I'm going to fuss about something, she was like, well, Dr. E, don't forget, was it on my calendar? Because my calendar said I was free to 3:00. So I don't want to hear it, because my nature changed, not because of time management, but because I started conditioning myself to that protocol. I started conditioning myself to watching that. And believe it or not, I started having more time to do it. And like Michelle said, some days aren't meant for you to be free. And I say all the time, you can't wing it and win. Yeah, you can wing it and it might work, but you can't wing it and win. Y'all better hear this. You might wing it and it'll work, but it's going to work. She said before she had some wins, but they weren't consistent. And so you can wing it and win, but you can't wing it and it works. And so I had to realize that some things I want to, and let me say this before I let them tell you what we food ourselves. These are for those of you guys that are chronic procrastinators. I was just the princess of procrastination.
Mhm.
You looked up, listen, Cavell, me. If it was something that needed to be done at 3 o'clock, first of all, I'm gonna say, well, it don't need to be done until 3. So I'm gonna get up at this time, 10. What's the latest? And then I'm gonna get prepared to do it. And all of a sudden, I got to eat. Oh, let me go get something to eat. Then I eat, and I'm so sleepy. I gotta lay down for y'all know it. Then I'm sleepy, but then I wake up and what's going on? I got a notification on social media. Now I gotta see what's going. Then I look at my clock. It's 2:15. And then it's 2:15. You know what? It might not take me but 30 minutes. I'll wait 15 more minutes and all of a sudden I thank y'all for telling the truth. I see y'all in the comments. And then we jump up, and just because it works, we think we've won, but it's not true. I realize, and I remember somebody said to me, well, if you can accomplish that at the last minute, I wonder what you could do if you actually put time to it, if you actually had time. And I said, hey, whoa, wait, what? And I started realizing that some of the reason I would feel so insecure was because I did things at the last minute, and there was a greater chance of error for it. Right. And it ended up now competing with other stuff that I had really planned to do. Oh, I see all the ouches in the amen corner. And I recognized that this was not healthy. And so I began disciplining myself with the calendar. And then I taught them how to do it. Right. Jamaica, let's talk about yours. What was that biggest nature change for you?
It was finding structure. I had no structure. So not only did I procrastinate, but as a tag along, it was whatever came. It will put whatever on top of whatever, and it just kept building and it kept building. And I bought a house this year, and Dr. E prophesied, and she said, as you watch your house being built, that's how God is going to change you on the inside. And that's when I realized I had to have boundaries.
There it is.
Was being put up and put together. That's how I had to structure my life. And it was hard, and it was uncomfortable, and it was scary because I was saying no, and then it was okay when I said no. And I would say, well, I'm gonna be intentional about this time, and I'm only doing this and this, and it was okay. And that felt unfamiliar. It didn't feel good, not knowing that it was changing my nature, and it was making me better, and it was actually freeing. The weight started lifting. And so to see that process, that's when I discovered, as working with Dr. E, that my nature was shifting to where I was now having discipline. I was now having boundaries. I was now only doing things that were intentional for me and where I was headed.
That's so good. Did y'all just hear that mic drop? And she didn't even know that was one of the things boundaries. You don't even realize that your nature has to shift because you've allowed yourself to operate with no boundaries. And so that's right. Somebody said that unfamiliar is okay. It's okay that I don't recognize this new season that I'm in, but I'm learning to be okay with leading the way. Man, that's a mic drop. Get okay with leading the way. Jamaica shifted from a tag along to a leader. And so she had to be okay with leading the way, doing it first, saying, nobody else in my family's done this yet. Wait a minute. I don't really know. I don't really have any that actually did that. Hey, it's okay. This is unfamiliar, but lead the way, ma'am. It's okay to lead the way. Can somebody put that in the comments and give your own self an affirmation? It's okay to lead the way. It's okay.
To lead the way.
That's good.
It's okay to lead the way. And you understand, I'm called to prophetic pioneers. I'll be doing something for y'all real soon. And when you are a pioneer, you don't have a blueprint from somebody else. You don't see them doing what it is that you getting ready to try to do. But it's okay to lead the way. It's okay to say, let me figure this thing out. And you know what? I'll build it and I'll finesse it as I go. But it's okay to lead the way. It's okay not to have to follow. It's okay to lead. That's so good.
That's so good.
Cavell, what was the biggest nature change for you?
The main one was emotions, because I don't know if they can tell, because between the little group of us here, I'm the more quiet and shy and more reserved one. But when it came to my emotion, it was like everything was either 100 or 1. So I had to figure out how to discipline myself in a way that I structure it so that I could be more even toned and even tempered. It's like, so the way I did it was okay, this is my usual reaction. What's the discipline going to be to be able to change that? How about we try the
Mm.
opposite of whatever that was? So that has shifted my emotions to level out a lot. But the other one was also time. So in the exercise that you gave us, actually one of the people in the comments there, my cousin in the comments, I told her, I'm like, Dr. E said, let's try this. So I want to have you as my accountability person. So let's do it together. We're going to take 2 hours to get this task done. So this is what I'm working on. And she tell me, this is what I'm working on. And at the end of the 2 hours, we check in. Did you get it done? Yes, I got it done. No, you didn't get it done? Okay, we add a half an hour more. So the timing, it works. It absolutely works. But what I didn't realize that was that scheduling the timing eventually became natural. So I didn't even have to say it out loud anymore. So this actually ended up helping. It started out in personal life and it shifted directly into my business life. And the level of growth with just structuring and scheduling time and sticking to it has been outstanding.
See,
Mhm.
she's leading me into Michelle is a visual duplicate of me.
Literally. Literally.
So my mama just said that's hilarious.
Happy
So
birthday, mama, by the way.
so now, y'all, this is your time to shine because I really want them to hear this. So give them an example. They're hearing where you were, but now I need them to hear the wins. Like this, one things I teach my mentees how to do is to brag on themselves. Like, and that was so hard. Let me just tell you about them. Let me tell on them since they always calling me out. And some of my mentees are in the comment section, and my the people that I coach, they already know. They Julie's on, and I remember having to say to her one day, "You're gonna have a season of consecutive wins," and that was such a hard thing for her to hear and accept because it was like we predisposition ourselves to lose, to struggle, to stress, so that when it happens, it's like, well, let me go and get the win out the way so I can get to the drama. Mm-mm. And so when I started reconditioning them, I would say, wait, stop. So you didn't get mad? Wait, y'all actually talked. We gonna say, let's come on, let's clap. We got to deal with it, And it's like, wait, what? It's okay to do. Well, because we're so used to shrinking and hiding and diluting and dismissing that I was like, no. How do you know if you have shifted? How do you know that there was a transformation, that there was an evolution of elevation until you can see it start one way and end another way? So I'm going to go backwards this time. Cavell, since you kind of already started, you start. Give them how you started and what you started. Remember what you were doing when I first met you and what you're doing right now so that they can hear in real time some things that shifted in your life over these last 11 months.
In our mentorship, Michelle likes to say, I feel confronted. And with this issue, Dr. E came like right there and confronted me because I told her, listen, in my business, all I want to do is just be the little lady in the corner in my room behind the scenes and no one know who I am or what I do. I just want to put my things out there and that's it. That's as far as I go. And she's like, you can't grow like that. First, she starts with the listen.
That's when you know it's real.
Yes, and that's when you know you have to listen because what she's saying is it's about to be some serious gold. And I didn't want to. It was uncomfortable, but I did it. I did it. And I didn't die. I didn't, no, it didn't hurt. It was different, but you just have to do it. You can't say, I need, but don't put in the work, to get what it is that you're asking for.
And so tell
So
them what
I
you're doing now.
listened. I'm sorry?
Tell them what you're doing now. Let's hear you brag.
Come
Listen, don't
on,
be like
come on, Cabell.
don't
All
play with
right.
me like
So
y'all ain't
in the
had wins.
beginning of mentorship in January, I was just the mom and the wife with the goals. And during the year, I've become the mom, the wife, the entrepreneur. So I have my own business where I make a line of natural looking curling coiled wigs. Um, I do, how do I put it, stylish mask, and actually started and have successfully been running an Amazon business with my husband. And I can't even say enough that without the encouragement, the structure, and the push from Dr. E and from this mentorship, I don't think I would have been able to structure myself and settle myself enough to be able to do any of those things.
Wow. And I'll just throw some of her business out there. I remember when she said, because I always tell y'all I gotta lead the way. She said, I did it. I did what you said. I was like, what's hindering you? What's stressing you out? And she was like, it's the kids, and then it's this, and then it's this. And I was like, and you can't get no help. And she was like, guess what? I got somebody that babysits the kids. I got somebody that helps us clean. I hire people to help us work in our business. And guess what? What did you guys just buy a warehouse for your business? And I was like, wait, this the old lady in shoe had to make sure she didn't know what to do. Like this was you who
Yes.
in the corner. And so just me, my sewing machine, and come on with you once a week. The top was like, nah, not dealing with me, you won't. But look at her all out here entrepreneuring and stuff. So I celebrate you. I am so proud of you,
Thank
Cabell.
you.
I wanted the world to hear this, and guys, this won't be my last calling up people from even my group mentorship. I'm gonna be surprising them and getting some of them on here to just talk about that. So I'm so excited for you, Jamaica. Now listen, Jamaica went from tag along to lead along. So so give them this testimony, this shift of where you were and where you are, where you just kind of coming into.
So as I've been saying all night, being the tag along, and when I met Dr. E, I was searching for more because on the inside I was hearing it, but I didn't know how to get there. And as she loves to say, I was in a state of inertia. So I was moving and I had things going on, but there was no movement. I wasn't leveling up. I was going nowhere. And I remember sharing with her some things like, oh, I want to write a book. I want to do this. And then I'm a coach and all. She said, but then where are you going to take the people? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just going to write this book. And she was like, well, no, you got to be able to take them somewhere. You got to see the end of the thing from the beginning. So things began to accelerate because once you are attached to her, the winds of acceleration start blowing. And so not only that, but I wrote 2 books this year.
Woo, you better come
January, I
on.
had was ideas. I was halfway in the middle of one, but now I wrote 2 books, formulated, got myself in position, working on the packaging, how I'm going to come forth with my purpose and start the Kingdom Strategist, as she said at the beginning of this call. But that has been one of the things that I got to do for me. I got to show up for me. And so that you can't pay for that. Like I will always be indebted to Dr. E for pulling that out because that's what she does. As a good mentor, a good leader will help pull, not just tell you things and then just leave you out there by yourself. And so I can respect that and appreciate that calling that's on her life. And I won't get emotional and make anybody cry, but it was something that was needed. And she helped me, and professionally, spiritually, financially, helped me to realize and to show up for me. And I'm just ready for 2021 because it's the woman, the kingdom woman, like she said, the year of the woman.
See, y'all, they being so humble. Jamaica didn't just do that. She bought a brand new house, single parent, 4 kids, a house that she had custom built for herself.
Before you finish, I got to give you this one too.
Give it.
My current position.
Thank you. I was wondering.
That's what it is. As a tag along, you just settle for what people are doing. So in my current position, I was unhappy with some things. And she said, well, why don't you tell them? I'm like, tell them what? Why don't you tell them this is where I am and this is what I need? You got to know your value, know your worth. And as a tag along, you don't feel like you have value. Well, I didn't. I'm talking about me. So I didn't feel like I had value or I could speak up. So I listened to that. We had our session. It was over, and I was like, and she said, "Oh, and I'm gonna wait for an update. You send me an update." I was like, "Well, shoot. By the time my next session, I need to have something to tell her." And so I sat there and I typed it up and I looked at it, and she was like, "You know what? If they can't do that, then you have a plan B." And so I had to become okay with that. So not only did I confront and say, this is my worth and this is what I want. And when it didn't happen, God showed another company willing to go above and beyond because they recognize the value. But I had to stand up for me first and know that I was worth it. And they were falling head over heels, taking me out to lunch, all kind of things, because they saw the value that was in me. So yeah, that also happened. It's just phenomenal.
Listen, y'all, these real testimony, y'all getting it like my mama say from the horse's mouth. Like I'm telling y'all, empowerment is I said this before. We think empowerment means that we stay low and let people get on our shoulders, or we just hold them up. Like, I don't want to be seen just as low. But empowerment is allowing, I said this last night, giving God permission to promote you. Because you can't lift people up if you're in a low place. You've got to be able to allow God to promote you so you can reach down and say, hey, let's stand up. There's more. There's a higher level. And so they screaming with joy. I love y'all in this comment section. I'm telling you, this is how we shift. This is how we're encouraged. Michelle, come on and talk about your story. Because honey, I mean, I feel like I had to Michelle.
Right. This is extremely hard for me. Like I just think this part is so and Dr. E, you already know. So I don't know, Dr. E, which one should I even talk about?
All of it.
Okay, I think that the biggest evolution I feel like I have seen is more of the emotional maturity, right? And that matters, and spiritual maturity, because I always thought it was supposed to look one way and that's it. I never thought outside of the box. And so for me, having that vision unlocked was like freedom. Like I can breathe, like, okay, I don't have to look like this. I don't have to be this way. I love God and I know it and we know it. So the emotional and spiritual maturity, just like it's priceless. And you walked me through that. More on the tangible side, because I was able to unlock just this new level of freedom and new level of confidence. I was able to then figure out, I can really teach this, because so many people, are kind of like wanting to figure out, well, how can I operate in my full confidence as a creative or as a influencer? And so this year I launched a masterclass, or I should say a 6-week program, and it was all about confidence. And I literally, I'm gonna go ahead and drop numbers, even though it's weird. In under 3 hours, I made just about 5 figures. And it was because I was confident about myself and I knew who I was. I had a revelation of my identity that no one could take that away from me. And I knew exactly what I was supposed to do. And that came from the steps that I did, that I took this year. And so as a result of that, I knew what I was called to teach and kind of like impart into people. And that was an incredible experience. That was my first 5-figure launch, if you will. And and it was all because I understood my position.
You knew your worth.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Listen,
Right.
y'all, I'm over here cheesing.
Yes.
because I need y'all to hear this. I don't try to be anybody else. I know that there are some people, their background is in sales, so they teach you how to make a sale. They teach you how to, and that's amazing. We need that. There are some people who they are shifting. They can help you shift systems. They can automate everything for you, and that's their anointing. I have to be very clear and intentional about mine. I'm a clarity strategist, so I'm going to help you see your yourself. I'm going to help you see who you've been and where you are and who you are to be. I'm going to give you comprehension. One thing that they know, I don't just talk fluff. I'm going to give you very implementable, executable strategies, and then accountability to walk you. And then I'm going to be there to hold your hand. I'm going to be there to gather you up when you trying to hide and shift and disappear. Like, hey, what's going on? I don't no. And I knew I would say, hey, so catch me up. What's been happening? Nothing. Well, then you need to get out of my mentorship program, because if ain't nothing been happening, then And so I want you guys to know that these transformations happened to them in just this year. Every one of them has had a shift in their impact, in their income, and in their influence this year. And I am so proud. I am so proud. And I told them, I said, y'all spoiled and riding, so I don't even have any more one-on-one mentorship spots for nobody. Y'all just got me locked in. But as I told them, as I shift, they have to shift. And that's how it goes. Cavell, did you want to add anything to that?
Yes. I just wanted to say, from where I came from, I realize now that you kind of get stuck in this daily lull. Like, you don't even recognize and see yourself as, just this being on a daily basis. But when you set goals and you actually attain them and you accept them and you can speak them, it's this feeling of, oh my gosh, I did that. What else can I do?
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling. And I think that's one thing that I think, if I could tell anyone to do for themselves, is set a goal that you think might be unattainable for you and work towards it, hit it, and then just celebrate it.
Oh, that's so good. You led the way. Jamaica, if you had to tell everybody watching one thing that they can do, just give them from you, just a word of wisdom, what would it be?
To invest in you. To bet on yourself.
Woo!
Because the win is already within.
Oh my God, that's good. Bet on yourself. Michelle, what about you? What would you tell the women or the people that are watching?
I would say understand who you are and who created you. There is an inheritance there, that we have the best partnership ever, because we get to co-labor with heaven and we get to do the work of God. And whether, I don't care what industry that is in, we get to do that. And that's the best partnership I've ever had in my life. So I would say lean into your identity and who you are.
Lean into your identity. Listen, y'all, I'm so excited. Did y'all enjoy these ladies? I could tell by y'all comments that you guys did, but thank you all for coming and sharing this platform. That's just the kind of person I am. I just believe in sharing the mic, passing the mic, sharing the stage, because I feel like I can talk about how I have to lead the way that I've done things, but for them to hear real stories of what's happened. This is the evolution of elevation, guys. We have two more segments in this series, and so stay connected, because I really want you guys to evolve. Like, it is my heart's desire that you see this kind of thing happen for you on whatever level it is. And so I'm so excited. You guys, we pinned the comment, I think, earlier. If you guys are interested in working with me, you can't work with me this year. They got me all to themselves this year. Sorry, guys, but I do have some amazing things coming up for next year. And so you will, if you click that link that we put into the comments, that you can fill out the questionnaire, and it's going to be some questions about where you're ready to invest at, and we will respond to you about an opportunity that could be available for you for next year, if you are willing to take a bet on yourself. And so I love y'all so much, but I tell y'all that anyway. And so it's no secret. Y'all, look at y'all all in the comments ready. So they just letting you know, fair warning, like, this ain't no cute and you get to just, I just want to tell you about what happened to me. Hey, but after that though, but what we doing? Y'all know. I told y'all a lot of Jesus on a little bit of Tupac and Mary J. So they've seen it. They know when I tilt their head and start looking confused. I'm just, ain't nothing y'all saying making sense. Michelle be like, I thought we was gonna talk. Never mind. It just
Yeah, reroute. Plot twist.
Yes. Mhm.
well, thank y'all so much. Thank you guys that were rocking with us tonight. I hope you guys were blessed. I always tell you guys that I'm so grateful for you guys. Stay connected. We got a lot of things that are coming up. Like I said, I'll be dropping in a few weeks something that's going to be for prophetic pioneers. That's just going to bless you, just give you some pouring into, just to really give you some encouragement and some clarity. And then we're going to open the doors for something spectacular for 2020, especially for Kingdom Women. So stay connected. It's getting better from this, but you got to, and let me just say this, whether it's about me or anybody else, I would say this to anybody. This time of year, we know we have Black Friday coming up, we got Christmas. Bet on yourself, put yourself on your Christmas list this year, right? Put yourself on your Black Friday list this year. I know it is very easy for us. And again, this is not even just whether you want to work with me or anybody, even if it's a course you've been wanting to take, even if it's something you've been wanting to buy that invests into your business. Listen, put yourself on your Christmas list this year. Put yourself on your Black. Think to yourself, what can I purchase, invest in that's going to help me because I'm the investment. Me, I'm the investment. And so I want you to understand that you can do something that's going to shift the very trajectory of your life. But before you go and start putting everything out here, the Bible says it in Galatians 6:7, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever you sow, and you sow into you by investing there, as long as the earth shall remain, there's a seed, and give it some time, there should be a harvest. And what you're seeing tonight, and listen, can I just tell y'all something? It's just the beginning of their harvest. I'm shifting them next year for bigger and better. And so the heart, that's right. I love that y'all are taking that. Put yourself on the Christmas list. What do I want? And don't be all I want for Christmas is just for peace, love, and happiness. And that's fine too, but I got more than that on my list. It's some stuff I want for 2021. I've made my list, and I want you guys to put yourself on your list about what you need and what you want. So thank y'all so much. We're gonna end it, and then we're gonna carry on with one another for a quick minute. But thank y'all so much. I'm so excited. We're gonna go through, and somebody said they sent their husband a text last night about what they want. That's the truth. And listen, put yourself on the list. I'm telling you. Thank y'all again so much. I will see you guys next Monday night, same time, same place. But until then, all of these ladies, you can find them, I'm sure, on social media. They're doing some amazing things, and so am I. So I love, I say to y'all all the time, you can't fake fruit, right? You shall know them by, and these my fruit, an apple, an orange, and a pear. So, so, all right, y'all, stay connected. We'll see y'all next time. I always say this: may the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you. May he be gracious to you, and may he give you peace and peace. We'll see y'all next time.